All right, welcome back. Today in this video, we are going to be looking at construction engineering. So we are literally at the last topic as you're studying for your Civil FE exam. And so in this section, we're going to start with project administration. And as we go through the different many topics, I guess you can call them, we're going to end with interpretation of engineering drawings. So let's go ahead and look at and dive into our practice problems. So number one says, what is the primary purpose of a request for information in construction project management? All right, so we're going to start out with what are we given? I would say that's not applicable to this. There's no variables in this. What are we trying to find? The purpose we're looking for. The purpose of an RFI, which stands for request for information. All right, any formulas needed? No. All right, so going through the answer choices, initiating a change order. And I also want to point out that we don't need any formulas, but you do need some prior knowledge. And so that's why I'm going through this, so that if they ask you a question on it, then you'll know what to do. Okay, so initiating change orders, I would say no. When you're initiating a change order, you're doing exactly what you're saying. So you're changing something about an order that you've made. So for example, you may be ordering a set of pipes and you're just adding on to that. So instead of ordering 1,000, you may say I need actually 1,500, right? So change order is not going to be the case. Seeking clarification and additional information. That sounds good. I'm requesting information, seeking more information about an item or material for the project. C is establishing project milestones. So when you're requesting for information, you're not establishing a milestone. So no. Are you allocating project resources? No again. So I want to give you an example of what maybe, our answer is going to be B. But I want to give you an example of like what a request for information would look like. So I used to do these when I worked for this construction company, and I would literally be having to get these or request information for a specific type of pipe that the state required whenever you're renovating in an area or changing up the landscape, right? They were basically removing old pipes. And so we were going in and putting in new pipes. So there was a company, right? So let's do blue for this. So basically there's a company that we ordered from. So they had, I'll just draw a circle of a pipe. And then it was us, all right? And we would ask for a specific type of pipe, and we would kind of shoot that over to them. And then what they would come around and do is they would send us, a pipe. So they would send an email with pipe information. And from there, then we would come around and say, wait a minute, the information that you sent us didn't include the pipe material. So then we'll send them another email and we'll do a request for information, saying that, hey, does it have a specific material? And it's kind of this going back and forth between the company who's selling, the products. So you couldn't see what I was writing, but it's kind of like we're going back and forth between companies and information, and basically we just want to make sure we know we have all the information so we can share that with the state. So that's a little extra background that you probably didn't need, but I wanted to put it in, I guess, real life perspective. All right, let's look at number 2. All right, so it says, what is the primary role of the critical path method in construction project management? All right, we have A, identifying all project tasks. I would say no. Critical path, we're trying to see what the longest duration of the project is going to be. So that brings me to skip the step in our process, right? So the given information is not really applicable for this. We're trying to find the role of the critical path method. And do we need any formulas? None. But you need prior knowledge for this. So, okay, allocating, B would be allocating resources to task. No. All right, a CPM critical path is finding the longest that it's going to take for project. Okay, C, determining project duration and dependencies. So yes to that. And D would be creating a network diagram, and that's not the primary role, right? It's not the primary role. And if you wanted to search, if you don't know what, I think you can search critical path. Nope. So maybe going to the engineering section, the civil engineering section, and going down to the transportation. I meant not the transportation, the construction section. It should have construct. Okay. So I guess I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm searching stuff and this manual is not doing what I want it to do. So, but there are visuals for the critical path method that is very important. Okay, so they just call it CPM precedence, but that's what it is. And these visuals don't really help that much, but you are going to need to know how to look at these nodes and things, and we'll do some examples in some of the further problems. But yeah, CPM, this is a part of the construction engineering and understanding, okay, what is the longest duration that this project can take based upon all the activities that you have. So alrighty, let's move on to number 3. All right, so this one says, what is a key advantage of the design, bid, build project delivery method in construction? All right, so we have A is a competitive bidding environment leading to potential cost savings. B, early contractor involvement in the design phase. C, reduce likelihood of change orders during construction. Or D, flexibility in accommodating design changes after the bidding phase. So let's just look at, let's go through our process again. So the given is not really applicable. What are we trying to find, right? Well, we're trying to find an advantage of design, bid, build. All right. Are there any formulas needed? None. But you do need prior knowledge. So going through these, first of all, you need to understand what design, bid, build is. So basically, a company, an engineering company, will design the project, right? They'll design everything that goes into the project, like they'll get all the plans together. So this could include plans, right? And then what happens is they bid for the project. So that means when you bid for something, there are different contractors that put an estimate into the hat, basically. So they say, okay, based on the plans, we think we can do it for $100. And then another company will say, we think we can do it for $98, and so on and so forth, right? So within that process, there is going to be someone, there's going to, based on the bids, right, there's a cheaper rate that the government or whoever is selecting this project to get built, whoever's funding this, can look at and choose from, right? And then of course there's then the build phase. Okay, so went through that. So now that you have that prior knowledge, you can probably better answer this question. So competitive bidding environment, what's an advantage of the design, bid, build? Okay, it's a competitive bidding environment leading to potential cost savings. Yes, you're bidding, all right? They're bidding, so the cheaper one is going to win. Early contractor involvement in the design phase, no. All the design happens and then the bidding begins. Reduce likelihood of change orders during the project. Nah, there's going to be some changes, and that's the design, bid, build isn't necessarily going to do too much. It's not going to reduce the likelihood of that by much. that's not really an advantage of it. So, and then flexibility in accommodating design changes after the bidding phase. No, not really. Not the advantage of this, because everything's designed, right? So after the bid, it's time to build. So no. So our answer is going to be D. I meant A. A. All right. So hopefully this was helpful for you. In the next video, we're going to go through construction operations.